for adventure!
Yes, it is Captain Toad, and once again we're ready to venture out into the world to collect treasure. But this time making the jump from Wii U onto Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS. For this video, I'll be reviewing the Nintendo Switch version of the game. As Captain Toad, you'll have to navigate through dioramic puzzles, each feeling like a world in small scale waiting to be explored. What makes the gameplay unique is having free reins over the camera to manipulate your view. From first glance, you won't see everything there is to see. So moving the camera left, right, and zooming in or out will help you solve each puzzle. You'll have to do this while dealing with Captain Toad's Achilles heel, his inability to jump. Because his backpack is so heavy, Captain Toad will need to pluck, throw, sneak, and lure enemies to clear obstacles and find his way to treasure. Oh yeah, you can also do this fun little backpack attack to defend yourself. With the right Joy-Con's IR controls, you get a pointer used to interact with enemies, platforms, blocks, and other items by pressing the ZR button. This is a major change from the Wii U's second screen experience, and let me tell you, not having to look down at a second screen definitely feels less meddling. Minecart levels are now in first person view with the white circle as your aiming reticle. You do have the option to change into third person view, although I wouldn't recommend it as it feels pretty clunky. When playing in dock mode, there's no option for gyro controls, which I think would have worked better in these levels. Luckily, it's there in handheld mode. I'm just not sure why it wasn't included in dock mode as well. As I was playing through these levels, I couldn't help but be reminded of Pokemon Snap. Hint hint, Nintendo. Aside from the added gyro controls, playing in handheld grants you the Switch's touchscreen to interact with the objects around you. Captain Toad is a game that is befitting to play on the go, so it's no surprise that it works well. There are over 70 levels in the game, each with 3 gems to collect and challenges to complete. Challenges appear after beating a level and it just seems like forced replayability, but they're there to serve as a means for those looking for more of a challenge. That's not to say the game is extremely easy. It's not. I got a few game over screens during my time playing. There are no checkpoints in the level, so if you die, you'll have to start again. However, you do get to keep any gems you collected along the way. Collecting every gem and checking off every challenge won't be an easy undertaking. To add to your list of collectibles, the Toad Amiibo functionality from Wii U, where you can find a hidden pixel Toad, is now included in the game without the need to scan an Amiibo. And trust me, these little guys can be tough to find. I just wish this mode didn't have such distracting borders. Levels and bosses are unlocked after collecting a minimum number of gems, again encouraging replayability. The rehash of bosses does end up getting a little stale, as you'll see Dragodon and Wingo as every final encounter. The visuals are nothing short of amazing. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was already a beautiful looking game in 2014. I would even go as far as to say it was one of the best looking games on Wii U, and now on the more powerful Switch it only bolsters the game's presentation. The water, lava, and poisonous swamps are all aesthetically pleasing, and I love how expressive the characters of Captain Toad and Toadette can be. When they're frightened or excited, it's all just downright adorable, and I'm completely smitten by the charm and amount of detail added to make the characters and worlds feel vivid. Another new feature added to the Nintendo Switch version of the game is the ability to play co-op. By splitting the Joy-Con with another person, one player will control Toad and the other can shoot turnips and stop enemies on their tracks. I didn't get much use out of the multiplayer, but if there are kids around, this mode will definitely help them navigate each level with ease. A selling point of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is the inclusion of new levels based on Super Mario Odyssey. These levels can be immediately unlocked using the Super Mario Odyssey amiibo that released alongside the game, or they can eventually be unlocked by completing the game's initial story. The kingdoms featured are the Sand Kingdom, Cascade Kingdom, Luncheon Kingdom, and the Metro Kingdom, each represented nicely. Revisiting these worlds in this way felt fitting, and listening to each kingdom's music again makes me wish they'd release levels with the rest of the kingdoms as potential DLC. It is a shame though that we lost the Super Mario 3D World levels in favor of these, but just how those played as a prequel for 3D World, these new levels play as a prequel to Odyssey. If you have never played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, I would highly recommend picking it up. For those wondering if it's worth double dipping, well, if you're eager to replay Captain Toad in this new way, then it's worth your time. If the portability aspect and experience of playing on a new console is not a good enough reason for you to invest, then hold on to your original copy. This 2014 underrated jam about collecting gems was first released on Wii U to a small install base. Those fortunate enough to have picked up the game 4 years ago recognized the game was bursting with charm. Now with new life on the Switch, revisiting Captain Toad Treasure Tracker brought me to the conclusion that it is still a genuinely joy-filling adventure.